It's kind of a unique event in that there's so much benefit that can come out of it for a player, because we always get an incredible cross-check, section of scouting directors and cross-checkers in for the event. But there's so much conflict whether certain players can come or not, because being held, in the third week of May, there's still high school seasons going on. We often have to hang the night before on a player while he's playing in a playoff game on Friday or on the weekend, and we're having the event on Monday. If he wins in the playoffs, he won't be able to go to our event. So it's a very fluid event. It's very difficult to put on logistically and get the players there. But for a player, it has such tremendous benefit, because there are so many decision makers in the scouting community there, and it's often the last chance they'll get to look at a player before they go into their draft meetings and start lining up their draft board. Probably in my memory, the player that benefited most from coming to it, and this is ironic because a lot of times you hear from players, especially if they're listening to other people, don't go there, you might hurt your draft stock, which I don't know whether that's ever happened, because a lot of times just what the scouts want to do is see you. And that's happened with Carl Crawford. Carl Crawford in his senior year in high school, big name, everybody knew who he was, everybody saw him play at what was a very low level of competition in high school ball in Houston, in the league he played in. But of course Carl Crawford was going through a whole pull where he was signed a Nebraska scholarship to play quarterback. Yes, he wanted to play baseball, but scouts really didn't know what he wanted to do. And he came up here to the pre-draft showcase, really didn't play that well. I mean, if you just wanted to look at it on how did he do on that one day, he didn't do anything. But the most important thing that he told the baseball community is, I want to play baseball. And that's something that Dan Jennings, who was then the scouting director of Tampa Bay, really, really noticed and commented on afterwards. Tampa Bay drafted Crawford in I believe, the top of the second round, bought him away from the Nebraska quarterback job, and, the rest is history. So just sometimes being at an event and showing the decision makers, and that's what I refer to scouting directors and cross-checkers as, are the decision makers, showing the decision makers, hey, I want to play, I'm going to make the effort to be here, is sometimes the most important thing. And that's a statement Carl Crawford and others have made at the pre-draft showcase.